What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Iran with RTS Mobile Gaming, bringing you another fantastic Tile Survive video today. In today's video, we'll be talking about how to optimize your formation, both for World PvP and for the Arena. Okay, this is really important. It's going to take into effect a lot of different philosophies. I'm going to be talking to you about my theory crafting. I'm going to be showing you some examples, and we'll be finishing the video with an attack in the arena against a much stronger opponent to show you this philosophy in action. Also, by the way, thank you to Lootify for sponsoring today's video. You can save 15-20% on your in-game purchases. Check the Lootify Discord link in my video description below. Okay, so when you are building a march, when you are editing your primary march, you want to think about a couple things. First, you don't want to just click Quick Deploy because that might do the wrong thing. In fact, as I clicked Quick Deploy here, it did the wrong thing. It put different heroes in the wrong position. You want to think about which heroes are your biggest damage dealers. You want to think about which healers are the tankiest and which healers you need alive towards the end of the fight. You're going to lose one or two heroes in most fights that are fairly even no matter what you do, so make sure you put more expendable heroes at the front or heroes that can take a lot more damage. Rosie is my biggest damage dealer in my main setup, so I don't want her in the front. Nicola is a built-in tank. He has great tank skills. He creates 2 different shields for himself, and he's very hard to kill. So he is going to go in the front line. I'm going to put Rosie in the back line so she is able to live longer in the fight and do more damage. In addition, she has a lot of self-healing, which means if she's able to live a long time, she's going to heal herself for 15 million HP over the course of a longer fight, and she may end up being the last hero left alive. So not only is she the biggest, on most fights, the biggest damage dealer I have, she will also do almost as much healing as my healer, Layla. Tarzan is another massive damage dealer. He is in the back line as well. I want him to live, and while he does have one tanky ability that gives defense and attack to the overall formation here, he is not an especially tanky hero. So again, I want him as a big damage dealer to be in the back. Tarzan is going to be behind Nicola. I'm putting Rosie behind Layla. You may be asking yourself, why is Layla in the front row? Well, let's talk about that really quick. Let's take a quick look at Layla and her skills, okay? Layla's in the front row for a couple of reasons. One, she has one of her 4 skills here is a actual massive tanky skill because this gives her 26% health, 25.8% health. That is a big deal. That is a crazy amount of health. And I'll show you where else she's going to get a lot of health in just a second. So she gets almost 26% bonus health from having a level 30 skill here out of 40. It's not maxed out. And she provides a ton of healing to the whole army. So I actually do want her as a ranged hero. She's most likely going to be alive till the end of the fight. I want to put her up in the front so she's able to redirect some damage off my squishier heroes. The melee heroes will then pass her, and they will start taking some of the damage. But if she takes a big chunk of damage right at the start of the fight, she is going to live long enough to heal all the way through that damage. And she has a massive health pool, which actually makes her tankier than Nicola. If I put her and Nicola up against each other, Nicola has some crazy shielding abilities, okay? He can do a lot of shielding. But he cannot shield more than Layla's 25% HP in, 10-12 seconds. Over the course of a longer fight, he may trigger his combat skill for shielding multiple times, allowing him to live a long time. Typically, he's dead after about 10 or 15 seconds, but he does provide a great balance because you have Nicola together with Layla. They're very tanky in the front, okay? And like I said, Tarzan and Rosie are going in the back. This is just my March philosophy. They're higher damage dealers. They have some crazy damage output from their skills here. Big splash damage from Rosie. Big splash damage for Tarzan. He actually hits the back row heroes, which is really amazing. Big damage nuke there, which is fantastic. And then we finish it off again where we have Rosie, dropping the hammer on folks. And then Tara. Tara's really interesting for this setup. She's a Gen 2 hero. She's coming out before the next season starts. But she just came out for our server about a week ago. And she's amazing. She has an ability here that gives all of her allies plus defense. So having her in my march instead of, for example, Ray, who's 10 stars, but he has not been performing well. I took Ray out of the march. I took Maddie, who's 10 stars, out of the march, because while she does decent, not even decent, but while she does slightly above average damage and a little bit of healing, it's nothing special. Becca, I only have at 6 stars, and she's a big cannon, but I'm going to show you in a second why I'm using 4 different guard heroes, okay? All right. Now that we've talked about that, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual formation bonuses, okay? My heroes, my final health is going to be plus 15 for this setup. So not only does Layla have almost 26% health bonus from having her skill at level 30, she's going to get an additional 15% health, and so are my other heroes. They're going to get an additional 15% health because I have 4 guard heroes in the formation. That's another reason why I'm not messing around with only having 2 or 3 guard heroes. If I only had 2 guard heroes, let's say I wanted to put Becca in and I wanted to put Maddie in, now I'm down to 2 guards. 2 guard heroes means I'm only going to get 2% health here, or potentially 4%. Right now I'm rocking 15% bonus health because I have 4 guards and 1 gunner. Layla's group healing outweighs this additional 10% health bonus, so I use Layla as a gunner in the 5th position because she provides crazy healing, and as we already talked about, she is a great tank to begin with. So this is the optimized march I have here for Gen 1 and 2 in the first season, okay? Once we get into later seasons and more heroes come out, this march will probably evolve, and I may change it a little bit. But for right now, this is a really, really well-optimized setup. Let's talk about one more thing before we move on to the arena fight, okay? And again, thank you to Lutify for sponsoring today's content. If you guys are going to spend $100 in-game, check out Lutify. You might be able to get that pack for $82. Thank you to Lutify again for sponsoring today's video. Okay, let's take a look at the actual hero weapons, the specialty weapons, okay? This weapon does not give a group bonus, right? This is Layla's weapon. It gives her a big bonus to attack and defense. This makes her even tankier because it has defense bonus. Let's take a look at the next weapon in this setup, which is going to be Rosie's weapon. This gives attack and defense to all heroes. So now Layla is getting, between her weapon and Rosie's weapon, 32% bonus defense and 32% bonus attack. We're going to be super tanky. In addition to that, Nikola has self-buffing defense, so he is going to be getting this plus the 16% from Rosie, so he'll be at 40% bonus defense, right? Ray is not in this setup. Then we have Tara. Tara's weapon gives all of her allies another 10% defense. So now we're at 42% defense for Layla, 50% defense for Nikola, and our final person in this march gives another 10% defense to the allies. This is why this group has so much synergy, because I have 3 different hero weapons giving defense and offense. Well, Rosie's give defense and offense, but 3 different hero special weapons that are giving a defense boost overall to the whole setup, which is amazing. Plus, Tara, like we talked about earlier, has this amazing skill to give bonus defense to all of her allies. So you end up with close to 70% plus or minus, depending on your skill and gear level, maybe higher than 70% bonus defense to all my heroes. With this setup, it is absolutely disgusting. It's incredible how powerful Layla and Nikola become when they have this disgusting defensive bonus. And then, like I said, Tarzan and Rosie are just out there smashing the pavement with their ultimates. Okay. You've heard enough. Let's go to the arena. First, let me show you the history here. I did some more fighting on a stream a few minutes ago. My power right now is 18.5 million power. Not too long ago, I smoked a whole bunch of people. I smoked a 19 million. I smoked an 18 million. I lost to Nyx. Nyx has some really good gear. I lost to Dragonth, who, I mean, both of these people have over 2 million power more than me and much stronger hero gear and Griffins. But we're going to fight somebody today who's strong. Oh, look at this. We have a good selection. Okay. This person is a little bit less than 1 million power stronger. This will be a good challenge. Let's take a look at their march. First off, let's point out the fact that the Griffin is a whole tier above mine, which means he has unlocked an additional skill, and he's got a much higher level. So his Griffin is massively stronger. his composition is not as optimized. He is only running 2-piece guard and 2-piece gunners right here. So 2-piece guard, 2-piece gunner, he's going to have 4% bonus HP for his March. Keep in mind, I have 15% bonus HP for my March. So right off the bat, I have 11% more HP. I also have all this defensive synergy, which should outpower Ray and Maddie, which are both underperforming B-tier heroes, right? All right, let's rock and roll and see if I can kill this much stronger person. If I can't, that's okay, but we'll take a look at the report and see how we feel about it. And it looks like we are actually pulling ahead. We may lose a hero first. We lost a hero first. This could be a loss. This looks like, folks, this does look like a loss. But we'll look at the report. That's okay. You don't win them all, okay? This is the report. Unfortunately, we lost Tarzan fairly early, and that allowed us to lose a crap load of damage because Tarzan is a big damage dealer. Rosie was a massive damage dealer. And as you can see, Layla was able to tank a shitload of damage because she did so much healing. Absolutely incredible. 20 million healing here from Layla. So, unfortunately, sometimes you can't overcome the advantage of someone having a whole tier stronger with 38 levels higher Griffin. That is a big deal. That is a big deal to have a much stronger Griffin by that that margin. Let's look for one more person to kill, okay? Let's find someone else who's a little bit stronger. Come on, let's go. I don't want to hit a 25 million person. There's Nyx again. Come on, baby. Give me a good target. Give me a slightly stronger person to fight. We're gonna find one more person to kill today. It'll be good. It may end up being Nyx. I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. We're getting close. Okay, this person is about the same power as me. Slightly stronger Griffin. Less optimized March. Now you should see, again, his Griffin is a whole tier above 18 levels. This should be a closer fight. He has a less optimized hero setup, so I should plow right through him. No problem. But let's take a look at what happens. Here we go. Okay. Optimized hero setup. Weaker Griffin versus stronger Griffin. Less optimized hero setup. Oh yeah, we are just shredding right through here. So, like I said, strong Griffin is one thing. You can't always overcome it, especially if your main damage dealer dies early on. As you can see here, having Tarzan and Tara alive late in the fight allowed me to do a lot more damage. Still amazing healing from Layla. And here we go on the damage meters, damage taken meters. You can see that effectively Nicola was the top damage received. Layla, being ranged in the front row, still received a ton of damage, which is great news. That means she was able to maximize her healing. So, okay, folks, that is today's video. I tried to keep it short and sweet, but walk you through some real examples. Ironically, I lost the first example, which is fine, but feel free to like and subscribe if you like today's content. And by the way, stay tuned for the Rave Dad album that is releasing on September 30th on Tuesday. Very soon, depending on when you watch this video, it might already be out. That album is coming out very soon. Check out Randy Rave Dad on Spotify after September 30th to check out the new techno, house, trance, music, hybrid genre, okay? Like and subscribe, folks. I love you long time. Randy, out.